Musicus made the best answers to the best questions. Welcome to this new video. I'm Riccardo, the Musicus Practicus, and today I want to answer a very particular question by Amira from Iran. So this question is about seventh. Amira writes, seventh should be resolved downwards if I'm right. Yes, you're right. When we play diminutions, seventh doesn't resolve immediately. Is it fine? Very interesting question, Amira. And now let's talk about this very interesting topic. When we talk about seventh, we talk about something which is a suspension, or better, which is a dissonance. In general, we have two kinds of dissonances. We have unprepared dissonances like passing tones, neighbor tones, or we have appoggiaturas, or appoggiaturas, and then we have escape notes, for example, and then the last one is appoggiatura, neighbor tone, passing tone, escape tone, and of course, what's the last one? Appoggiatura, neighbor tones, passing tones.
One eternity later.
And then we have anticipations that, or in general, ornaments. Now, ornamental notes. Now, a seventh in this case is another kind of dissonance. So a dissonance which is a suspension. And suspension means we have to follow what is called PSR rule. So preparation, P, suspension and resolution. Pay attention now because it's very important. Preparation is usually on a weak beat, so weak beat or upbeat. It's a consonant note, consonant note, and it's the same note of the second phase. So same note and tied, same and tied, and so if this tied is the same, so same note of sus-s, which means suspension. Then we have suspension. The suspension is on a downbeat, so it's strong, so with strong beat or downbeat. It is a dissonance, of course, otherwise it would be only a tied note, so a ligature, so a dissonant note. And it's the same note of the previous phase, so same note of P, so of preparation. So we have two things in common between weak beat, between preparation and suspension. So one thing in common, which is the same note. The two other things, so weak beat and upbeat, as you can see, weak beat and strong beat, and same and consonant and dissonant are exactly the opposite. And then we have another thing, which is the last phase, which is the resolution. So R, resolution, which means resolution is on a weak beat, so up, weak beat, up. It's a consonant note, so consonant note, and it's one step, tone or semitone, depending on which part of the scale we are. It's a step down the suspension, so one step down, suspension. Now let's do a practical example, but first of all, notice how in this case we have these two things, so weak beat and consonant note, which are the same of preparation. Now, let's do a practical example. So we have these two notes. For example, the bass is featuring. Yes, let's do like this. No. Yeah, let's do it in C major. Very simple. Exactly. Pom pom la mi fa mi om pa pa pom pom poo, like this. So we have our beginning. Let's do this in 3 parts. Like this. So we start, we have our harmonization in this point. La, sol, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, mi, like this. Sol, fa, mi, fa, mi, re, do, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, fa, mi, re, do, like, okay, this. So, la, and then here, sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, mi, so fa mi, pom pom, and then we have a lip like this, for example. Which works as a prelude. So la sol, fa, mi, fa. So la, sol, fa, mi, fa, like this. And as you can see, we have our beautiful Romanesca followed by prelude, and in our prelude we have the variant expanded prelude, so with the bass, with the leaping bass. And for this, we have this numeration, which is 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, and 7. Now, because of this numeration, we have many sevenths. And as you can see, we have several PSR. We have preparation, concerning the upper voice of P, suspension, and resolution. Weak beat, down beat, so let's write downbeat, upbeat, downbeat, upbeat, downbeat, upbeat, and downbeat. So suspension, so preparation, upbeat, suspension, downbeat, resolution, upbeat, and we have another PSR starting this point, P, preparation, suspension, since now we have the 7th this way, and then resolution. Then we have another one, preparation, suspension, and resolution, and then of course we have the resolution of the cadence here. And now let's focus on the middle voice. The middle voice, in this case, works in the opposite way. So since we have this pattern, which is like a particular case, we have the now the suspension and preparation, suspension, resolution shifted of 1 beat. For this reason, we have here our preparation, because here we have a third, on the downbeat. Preparation, not S. So, and then we have suspension on the upbeat, and then resolution, and then preparation, suspension, resolution, and in a chain, like in a chain, preparation, P, suspension, since we had the 7th, and resolution. This, PSR, PSR, as you can see. So, now the real question by Amir concerns diminutions. So if we apply diminutions here, as Amir correctly says, we don't have the seventh which directly resolves descending a step, but we have something else in the middle. What? It depends. We can have stepwise diminutions, so like little figuration like this. But as you can see, if we have La, Sol, Fa, La, Sol, La, Sol, Fa, La, Sol, all these leaps, when I leap within the chord, so 3, 5, which is a consonant in this case, a consonant note, and 7th, I can leap staying within this chord. And so we don't have the 7th which directly resolves, but we can see that actually it resolves, like in this case at the very last. But we can also have other kinds of figurations, like for example, this also works very well. La, Sol, Fa, La, Sol, Fa, Re, Sol, La, Sol, Fa, Re, Sol. It works since and because these diminutions in the middle is a conjunction and I am leaping from a consonant note, consonant with a bass, since it is a third. And for this reason, we can do this. So the 7th can also leap. But it's not the 7th which is leaping, it's a diminution in the middle and then the movement toward the resolution, but the structure should be the same. We could also have some appoggiaturas, for example. Here, instead of a direct D, we can also have like this. In this case, we have or yeah, this would be a little bit strange because it's not stepwise. Look, if I have this fa sol, since this movement, okay, so first of all it's an A is it's a third, so it's a consonant note, as you can see. Now this movement, it's not bad since they are two appoggiaturas, but leaping to these notes sound a little bit strange. But if we play this working like an appoggiatura, so an anticipation in this point, we have an anticipation, La, Sol, Fa, La, Sol, Fa, La, and then La, Fa, Sol. In this case, thanks to this anticipation, we can also have the 7th resolving a little bit later. So La, Sol, Fa, La, Fa, Sol, Fa, Mi, Sol, Mi, Fa, Mi, Re, Fa, Re, Mi, for example. But also in the middle voice, since we are talking about in general, about how dissonances work in general and how they work with diminutions. So yeah. Now let's apply this figuration to the upper voice. La, sol, fa, la, fa, sol, fa, mi, sol, mi, fa, mi, re, fa, re, mi, fa. And now let's apply it in the middle voice. So no, in the middle voice. Fa, mi, la, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, la, fa, sol. Yes, in this case it will be strange, we need the B flat. No, we can't play the B flat since we have the B natural in the bass. So in this case this figure will sound very strange since we have the triton. How is the correct pronunciation? Tell me. And la, sol, fa, la, fa, sol. Yeah, but we can do this later. Sol, fa, la, fa, sol, fa, mi, sol, mi, fa, mi, re, fa, re, mi. So la, sol, la, fa, sol, fa, mi, sol, mi, fa, mi, re, fa, re, mi, for example. And then we can also have other kinds of figurations which are like arpeggios within the chord. So we have to think to a wider extension. So like chords like this, or better. No, what I'm playing. This exactly. And within this thing we can leap. Okay, and so I can play smaller leap like. Like this, so. And then since I have this kind of leap, so consonant leap, of course leaps are consonants within the chord, within the harmony. So I have to imagine the scale, the complete scale, for example, like this scale instead of the notes belonging to the chord. Then we have this, so since here we have all 3, 5 and 7th chord, just the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and then if you want the 8th, of course, since it's the octave and it's a consonant, no? So we have 3, we have the 5th, the 7th and the 8th, and so on, also over it, so up above the bass. What time doing? Where is it? Okay, here. And so and so and so. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, 6, 8, and this way going on. So imagine a melody within this note, and so the answer at the end of the day is yes, we can leap, we can play diminutions, and we don't have to make the 7th necessarily resolve exactly as the 2nd note of the diminution, so directly in the, so when we have diminutions. And so, very interesting question, and I really wanted to take this opportunity to show this phenomenon in a very wider way. That's true, learning harmony is sometimes a challenging endeavor. Why were many techniques that seem difficult for us today a walk in the park for ancient musicians? Why do we struggle so much to learn counterpoint today, while just 2 centuries ago it was taught to children with the same easy and naturalness as we teach English in schools today? And above all, why do we use a completely different method from the one with which the great musicians of the past studied, taught and transmitted the art of composition and improvisation? Perhaps it's not so easy to find a single answer to these questions, but I've worked to find a practical solution. This solution is called Improvisation Elements. Improvisation Elements is a collection of numerous musical exercises in the form of videos that are focused, concise and effective for learning counterpoint, harmony while practicing with keyboard patterns. With Improvisation Elements you learn to play diminutions, harmonize melodies, improvise counterpoints, apply figurative elements to broader patterns, and with delightful musical recipes you learn to combine different musical patterns to create your personal compositions and improvisations. Many things in one platform, one place, and everything organized clearly, smartly and neatly in thematic categories. Discover the vast amount of resources you can immediately access on this page. Improvisation Elements. Play, compose, improvise.